We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. The only source of knowledge is experience. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. I know not with what weapons world war I will be fought, but World War I will be fought with sticks and stones. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I, or are the others, crazy? A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. A man should look for what is and not for what he thinks should be. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. Intellectuals solve problems. Geniuses prevent them. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you, mine are still greater. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Information is not knowledge. Force always attracts men of low morality. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. The only real valuable thing is intuition. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. The environment is everything that isn't me. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. I think and think for months and years. 99 times the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. I want to know all God's thoughts. All the rest are just details. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. That deep emotional conviction of the presence of a superior reasoning power, which is revealed in the incomprehensible universe, forms my idea of God. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Love is a better teacher than duty. We should take care not to make the intellect our goal. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. God does not play dice. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. Occurrences in this domain are beyond the reach of exact prediction because of the variety of factors in operation, not because of any lack of order in nature. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. Imagination is more important than knowledge. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. People love chopping wood. In this activity, one immediately sees results. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. The faster you go, the shorter you are. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge, but can never prove how it got there. Never lose a holy curiosity. Reading after a certain age diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain, too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer silent vice to ostentatious virtue. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. I have just got a new theory of eternity. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism. How passionately I hate them. The unleashed power of the atom has changed everything, save our modes of thinking. and we thus drift toward unparalleled catastrophe. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the Earth will be killed.